We can talk about halvings, we can talk about, all of the regulatory issues, but realistically, how significant have these ETFs been for the entirety of the crypto industry, considering that flow has been driving so much action to the upside?
I think without a doubt for this particular cycle, the Bitcoin ETF has been playing a major role in driving the price movement. But let's not forget there's also other elements like what you have mentioned, the halving that's coming up. Also, I think there's still anticipation of Fed's rate cuts coming down in the coming months. So I think all these are in the backdrop, and that's why we're seeing a Bitcoin rise in a high interest rate environment, which is kind of unusual if you look at all the other previous cycles. But let's face it, there have been a few times when Bitcoin was set to be dead, and every time it came back stronger than before. So I think what really the takeaway that I'm having from this is, let's not forget about why the resilience for Bitcoin, right? Because it is essentially arguably the only digital money that maximizes transparency and control and access for individuals. And that's what gives it a strong value proposition as a store of value, which really pull in a lot of institutional money when the environment is ready, which is, again, back to your question about a Bitcoin ETF.
That's right. And the ETFs, of course, pave the way for more retail participation as well via a safer route into this market. So that expands the base of the money that's coming in. But Hong, to the point that you're making, we may be right now in a high interest rate environment, and who knows what the Fed does. But futuristically speaking, and the markets, every market is futuristic, right? And it's thinking the market has started to price in and anticipate rate cuts. And so the change in the macro environment would be a leg up for this segment as well.
I do believe that the role that Bitcoin is playing and can continue to play in our larger ecosystem is very unique. And people have been seeing that, not only in US, in regulated markets, but also in more developed markets, but also in emerging markets, in Latin America, in Africa, in many other places where people are seeing very unique value for this. The fact that we have Bitcoin ETF, on the one hand, is opening the door for a lot of institutional money, but on the other hand, it's also serving as a huge free marketing tool for Bitcoin to pull people in to do more study on themselves. So I do feel like over the long run, we will continue to see it go up, but it's hard to tell the short-term movement. As we have seen, there have been quite a few up and down, even within this short cycle so far. So I think there will continue to be volatility with institutional money, with leverage, with people still forming consensus around where the price is. But I think longer term, I'm very bullish.